Well. Looks like someone has a new fire of confidence in them now as UCLA pulls off the 72-67 win over USC to win the Big Ten tournament championship today. It was a very, very impressive second half for UCLA after they pretty much got their heads kicked in the first half as they were trailing 10 at the half. But let's talk about this game and some of the things that I got to listen to in the post-game press conference that really were glaring to me. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. This is your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont, aka Rudy the Hammer. Bring some hammer time to you. For those of you new to the channel, I appreciate y'all jumping on board. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. For those of you who are here as usual, I greatly appreciate you. Like the video and leave a comment. Let's talk about this game. I said before, if they met again, it seemed like USC had UCLA's number. And for the first 20 minutes, that's the way it looked. Every time UCLA got close, USC did something. UCLA took an early lead, but then they got a little sloppy, as in fact they were sloppy the entire game. And the fact that they won this game the way they did, despite how sloppy they were with the ball, is a testament to how well they played that second half. Juju Watkins finishes 9 of 28 for 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, 5 turnovers. She only has 2 assists. She's 2 of 8 from 3 and goes to the line 10 times, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. The rest of her team, utter garbage. Flat out garbage. In fact, if you want to be honest, she was garbage. She was terrible. Even when they're up 10 in the first half, she wasn't that good. She was 5 of 13 in the first half, and she went 4 of 15 in the second half. She lived at the free throw line. Now, they're up by 10 at the break, and I'm watching UCLA fail to get the ball into Lauren Betts the entire first half. Just miserable at getting the ball into Betts. Betts had position over and over and over and over, and they kept swinging the ball around. You're like, get this girl the ball. She's literally in front of the rim, and they didn't. Now, they got the game down to 36-35 before USC goes on a 9-zip run to finish the half and goes up 10. Now, to start the second half, they hit a 3, and now they're up 13. But there was a stretch from about the 4-minute mark to about the 3.5 minute mark of the 4-minute mark of the third to about the 3.5 minute mark of the fourth, where UCLA goes on a 20-4 run. And during that time, Juju Watkins is 0 of 6 with 4 turnovers. Now you ask yourself, what happened? Well, what happened was UCLA started doubling Juju Watkins pretty much on every screen. So they were face guarding her very, very well. And they were trying to run her off screens, and they're using, to me, the wrong person for the most part. You should be using someone else, but they were using the person that Lauren Betts was guarding, whoever that was. And Lauren Betts is the one hedging out. So now you're being double teamed by Lauren Betts, who's 6'7". It makes getting shots off a little harder when you have a 6'7" woman there to guard you over someone who's like maybe 6'2", 6'3". Makes a difference. Lauren Betts was swallowing shots around the basket, multiple block shots. She blocked one of Juju's shots for sure in the fourth. Lauren Betts had 4 points at halftime and finished the game with 17 points. Her second half was spectacular. Spectacular. She finished 7 of 10. She was 2 of 5 at the half. She was 5 of 5 in the second half from the field. Even had a driving layup, which was impressive. And yet UCLA committed 24 turnovers. 14 combined turnovers by their starting guards, Kiki Rice and London Jones. They did get some early threes that kept them in the game because that's the only reason they weren't down 20 at halftime was because they hit threes. Because they didn't hit a whole bunch in the second half either. They hit them in the first half. Tamia Gardner had 3 threes in this game. She had 2 in the first half. Dugalich had 2 of 2, and London Jones was 3 of 4. Now, there were some things that were happening early on this game that I'm sitting here watching. I'm just like, what is going on with UCLA? USC's beating them to every loose ball. They're diving on the ground. While UCLA is losing the ball, fumbling the ball, and yet people from behind them are beating them to the ball. It happened with Elena Arnasalo. She got beat to one ball. Tamia Gardner got beat to a ball. And every time this happened, it was buckets for USC. And that was the biggest thing that I saw in that first half was just USC was playing harder than UCLA. They were diving for loose balls the entire first half. Second half, a little bit different. They were both diving, but this time UCLA was getting into the fight. And I just thought they made an adjustment. I got to give the coach a little bit of credit because I think she's been terrible most of the time when they play USC, but give her a little bit of credit because she had to have made this adjustment to double team Juju Watkins on the screen roll every time. But here's the reality. Kiki Iriafen was horrendous. Kiki Iriafen at halftime in the halftime interview is asked, "What's going on with your offense? Blah blah blah." Juju's been great. Give it to Juju. That's your offense? Your offense is give it to Juju. That reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when the coach was saying, give it to Will. Give it to Will. What's the play? Give it to Will. What's the play? Give it to Will. That is literally what Kiki Iriafen said. Give it to Juju. I'm sorry, but you're playing a top-ranked team. You cannot just give it to Juju and hope that she can carry y'all while she's being double-teamed. And double-teamed by a big, no less. Juju Watkins, some people think she choked. I don't think she choked. I think she just was hounded and defended really, really well. And because her teammates were too chicken shit to take a shot, there was nothing she could do. She did everything she could. She played terribly, in my opinion, for the duration of the game. They just had a 10-point lead, so people ignored the fact that she was 5 of 13 in the first half. Nonetheless, UCLA damn near tries to give the damn game away because the coach pulls out Lauren Betts. They turn the ball over twice. I mean, the amount of turnovers that UCLA committed, London Jones dribbles the ball off of her leg when she could have a layup. It was turnover after turnover. And look, USC wasn't much better. They had 19 turnovers. But UCLA committed turnovers up the ass, bro. Now, free throw line. Juju Watkins gets 10. The rest of her team has 3. And it kind of seemed like this coach kind of complained about the free throw shooting, which I found to be rather ridiculous because Lauren Betts gets fouled on almost every play. And she took 3 free throws. She gets fouled on damn near every play. She's being fouled constantly. Kiki Rice, she got to the line because she drove to the hoop. London Jones got fouled late for the most part. But majority of the fouls that were being called late were they fouled on purpose, which also lifted up the numbers for free throws for UCLA. But y'all weren't aggressive, USC. Lindsay Gottlieb, you weren't aggressive. The only person that was even trying to do something with the ball was Juju Watkins. The rest of the team was standing around shitting on themselves. There was open threes that they had that they took, and they were like, oh, I don't want the ball. So I want to play for you a little bit of this post-game press conference where she says a few things and let you listen to it.
And we will ask Coach to make an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions for the student athletes.
Thank you. First off, I want to congratulate UCLA. This was a really great atmosphere. I thought it was a tough basketball game, and I thought whoever won this game should probably be the overall #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And, they got a win, and wish them well. We've done a lot of celebrating this year.
Why would she say that? Why would she say that I thought whoever won this game should be the #1 overall seed? Why would she say that? You've beaten them twice, and you're saying that in a press conference? I'm not understanding why she would say that. She's just told the committee, make them the #1 seed. You beat them twice, home and on the road. Why would you say that? That's a coach who looks like she's uncomfortable right now. Her voice is quivering. It's just a weird dynamic. I'm not feeling how this coach. I mean, I thought she absolutely blew it in the second half as a coach. She never adjusted to anything that UCLA did. You're relying on Juju to save your ass. Like, that's not. You have good players on your team, and yet I don't know what offense you're running.
And so when it's not our turn and someone else has the confetti or what have you, we're always going to do it the right way and take our pain and our disappointment and channel that into getting better. I thought our players left it all out there on the floor. I thought we fought. I thought we were tough. I thought we had one bad half of basketball in the second half. We missed shots. Then when we tried to attack and get to the rim, we didn't get to the free throw line. It was their half of basketball. The two losses that we've had prior to this, I thought our team responded and really bounced forward, and that's what we'll do heading into the NCAA tournament. And my guess is this is going to make us even better, and that half of basketball will be out of us, and we'll look forward that way. So proud of our group, but we're not done.
All right, I have a big problem with what she said there. I have a huge problem actually with what she said. When she says this thing about the free throw line, when we attacked, you didn't attack. Sweetheart, sweetheart, you didn't attack. Your team did not attack. Sweet coach, you sound like you're shitting on yourself. Your team did not attack the basket in the second half. Your big Kiki Iriafen was playing like she was scared to death. You actually look at the shot chart. Brian Marshall had 5 shots. Von Ohlenhoffen had 7. Kennedy Smith was atrocious. 1 of 8, 0 of 7 from 3. Iriafen took 12 shots, 4 of 12. So you got 17 total shots from your bigs. And if you include Akunwafu, she had 1 shot. So 18 shots from your bigs. You actually won the rebounding battle because you crushed them on the offensive boards. You had tons of second shots, 21 offensive boards to 4, which was mind-blowing, which is another example of the effort plays that her team was making. They played hard. I'm not saying they didn't play hard. They were making those effort plays the entire game. They were kicking UCLA's ass on the offensive glass. They took 26 more shots from the field. 24 of 70 for 34.3%. They took a ton of shots. I mean, you couple that with the turnovers. To lose a game where you took 26 more field goal attempts is mind-blowing. But don't sit here and say that you were attacking, because you didn't attack. You shot 28 threes of those 70 shots. You took 42 twos. And I mean, I'm gonna be real. They didn't foul you. They weren't fouling. They were not. UCLA was clean defensively in that second half. They were clean. They were committing dumb fouls in the first half. Second half, they were clean. London Jones picked up her 4th foul with 6 minutes to go in the third. She didn't play for like 10 minutes. Hawkins had 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes of the game. I'm a little bit taken aback by that comment. But let's continue.
Okay, questions for the student athletes. Please raise your hand.
Yes, Dave Reinhardt, WCBK Radio. For either one of the players, please. Lots of runs in this ball game. You guys had a 12-0 run there in the first quarter. Finished out the second quarter on a 9-0 run with Hal knocking down that 3-pointer. Going into the locker room up 10, momentum on your side. Back to what your coach just commented about just a tough second half. Can you put in words?
I hate journalists like that. I just want to make that comment. I hate journalists like that. You ask the question to one of the players. Don't just leave it open-ended for one of them to speak. Obviously, you want to direct that question to Juju Watkins. You're not directing that question to Talia von Oelhoffen. You're directing that to Juju Watkins. Like, stop it. And that half an hour long question, my God. Jesus, I can't stand questions like that.
I mean, we're always positive. I think that last 3 by Avery gave us a lot of momentum going into the third. Yeah, I think we came up with the right energy. I just don't think our shots were falling, and we tried to get it back and we couldn't. So.
Stephen Holder, ESPN.com. For both players, everybody had the same challenge, obviously, but can you kind of describe the challenge of playing 3 games in 3 days and the fatigue associated with that and how you fight through that?
Yeah, I think obviously both teams had to play 3 games in 3 days. So I don't know if that was necessarily a factor in that second half, but obviously didn't hit shots that we usually hit. And it felt like every time we missed an open look, they came down and capitalized on it. So I think we just need to do better navigating those shooting struggles and figure out how to get to the rim and get to the line.
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports, for either Juju or Talia. How difficult is it to play a team 3 times in the same season, especially this is twice in 8 days? And while you guys were very careful not to say that you wanted to see this game, they were very much wanting to play you guys again. How much more difficult does that make it?
I think it's always hard. Of course, 3 times, even 2 times. Just knowing that we've already done our scout, they've done our scout, so figuring out ways to tweak it. But we were excited to play them as well. It's not like we shy away from competition. We're always grateful to play them because they push us and we push them. So we were very welcoming to this game, and our coaches prepared us. We just we struggled in the second half.
Okay, last call on questions for the players. Anything? All right, ladies, you're dismissed and go.
Can you imagine having 3 total questions for the players? They just lost the Big Ten championship to their neighborhood rival. I mean, you just lost the Big Ten championship after you beat them twice, and you got 3 total questions. No one had any questions. What kind of media is this? This is kind of embarrassing. I have nothing wrong. I have no issue with anything Juju Watkins said. The question on the 3 games in 3 days, I don't give a crap. They both played 3 games in 3 days. I don't care about that. That's ridiculous. In fact, as far as I know, UCLA played the late game yesterday. So, yeah, I don't really care about that. That's excuse making. That is absolute fucking excuse making because UCLA played the late game. As far as I'm looking right here, yeah, they played the late game versus Ohio State. They won by 29 points. Was the game that USC played probably a tougher game? Big deal, but they played the early game. I think that type of thing of 3 days and 3 games in 3 days. As far as I'm concerned, I think USC is deeper than UCLA. Personally, I think they're deeper. I think they have an overall more talented team. I think UCLA's and more athletic team as well. I thought that this game was going to get ugly in the second half when it started off that 3 to make it 48-35. Like UCLA was doing nothing but turning that damn ball over. They turned that ball over like a fucking hot potato. But let's look at the rest of this interview with this coach. I'm probably won't play the whole thing, but
Go back to the locker room. Questions for Coach Gottlieb?
Nancy Armour, USA Today. Lindsay, similar question. How tough is it to play any team 3 times in a row, especially when you just did it 8 days ago?
Yeah, it just gives it a different feel. There's so much familiarity on both sides. I do think the 3 games in 3 days is very unique. You don't do it in an NCAA tournament. You don't do it any other time in the regular season. And, we had a closer game yesterday than they did. I mean, I think we went, 2 for 15 in the second half.
He is making so many flippant excuses. It's embarrassing. We had a closer game. We went 2 of 15. UCLA did not make a whole bunch of threes in the second half. Lauren Betts started putting the ball in the basket around the rim. That was the difference of the second half from the first half. Second half, she put the ball in the hole around the rim. Kiki Rice was aggressive. And they shut Juju Watkins down. That was the difference. USC's secondary players, your job, coach, is to get them in position to be open and score, and not leave it on one player to carry the ball to carry you for the whole damn game. It's like stop. And Juju Watkins doesn't have that type of freaking range from 3-point shot range to be shooting 30 footers from the logo. So you need to do something else. And you should have seen that they were doubling with Lauren Betts. You're bringing Lauren Betts out there, and that's causing a problem. You had Dugalich guarding Juju Watkins. She's 6'4". So you have a big and a big guarding her. It was hard for her. Then they had Jaquez at some points, but Dugalich was a major part of that 20-4 run.
Half from three, and I think were they 6 for 9 in the first half from three, so they were more efficient, but still not as good too for whatever 6 in the second half. So then you add that to it, it just makes for a little bit different of a feel to the whole thing. But it was heavyweight fight, and both teams I thought brought the intensity level for sure.
She literally realized that her argument of 3-point shooting for UCLA went out the window. She's like, oh damn, they only had 6 threes in the second half and made 2. I made 2 of 6 threes. How about looking at the fact that you were 24 of 70 from the field? Like, look at the fact that you were 24 of 70 from the field. And you weren't 2 of 15 from 3. You were 8 of 28 from 3. So stop acting like, you got she's making excuses here. This is a lot of excuse making. And she's a big part of why they lost this game, in my opinion. Her lack of adjustment is a large part of why they lost this game.
Lindsay, there was an 11-minute period where the team missed 15 straight shots going into the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. What do you tell the team to kind of get them out of that? If there's anything that you can say, try to get them out of that funk.
So I thought that, the open threes that we get off of, how they're guarding Juju or how they're guarding Kiki, locked and loaded, shoot it, giving them confidence. But I also told them, hey, let's be aggressive. They're in foul trouble. Let's get to the rim. And we end up shooting 13 total free throws. So I thought they tried to do what I said, which was get to the rim, and didn't get to the line. But you got to make open shots and try to continue to give them confidence. We know we're a really good fourth quarter team typically. So I thought, of course it was deflating to miss all those shots and get a little bit ragged in the third quarter. But I thought we tried to put the foot on the gas in the fourth and just couldn't get, to where we wanted to get to, either to the rim, to the free throw line, or just, get to our shots and knock them down. It happens sometimes.
I'm doing this blind, people. So I have no idea. I'm doing this blind because I haven't even watched this full interview. I only watched like the first 4 minutes. Okay. Now I'm hearing other stuff. Okay. Let's take a look. It was 52-42 after Juju Watkins hit a jump shot with 4:21 to go in the third. 52-42. UCLA hits a 3. USC calls timeout. You got 1, 2, 3, bunch of subs. Iriafen misses a jump shot. Next possession, Juju Watkins misses a 3. Next possession, Iriafen hits a jump shot. Next possession, Watkins misses a layup. I remember this was a contested layup. It was in traffic. It wasn't an easy shot. She didn't miss a wide open layup. She was in massive traffic. Okay. And there was no foul either. If it's the one I remember. But she was never fouled. Here we go. Kiki Iriafen misses a jump shot. That was the last 4 minutes of the third quarter. How many jump shots was that? You heard it, right? Jump shot, jump shot, jump shot, jump shot, jump shot, jump shot. They took one layup, and it was a missed shot. Now let's go to the fourth quarter. Missed 3-point. Kennedy Smith misses a 3. Misses a 3. Ryan Marshall, missed jump shot. Juju Watkins, this was a missed layup. This was Lauren Betts blocking her shot. That wasn't a missed layup. That was a block shot. Juju Watkins, missed layup. Again, traffic. That wasn't an easy shot. Ryan Marshall, missed jump shot. Juju Watkins, missed layup. Kiki Iriafen, 2 free throws. Juju Watkins missed jump shot. At this point, UCLA is up 60-56. Kiki Iriafen missed layup. This is by this point, everyone on USC is petrified to take a shot. I'm just letting you know. If you didn't see the game, at this point, everyone on USC is afraid to shoot the ball. Avery Howell missed 3-point shot. Another jump shot. And they got a bunch of offensive rebounds. Juju Watkins gets 2 free throws. At this point, it's 62-58. Let's see here. Kiki Rice gets fouled, going to the rim. She makes her free throws. Kennedy Smith missed 3-point shot. Avery Howell missed 3-point shot. Mind you, there's still 2:30 to go. They're playing panicked. I remember this possession. These were both wide open shots. They were not even close to going in. Like, not even close. So remember, she said how they all went to the basket. That's not true. She's not even remembering this game properly. They shot jumper after jumper after jumper after jumper. The only person who actually went to the rim was Juju Watkins. Only person. And she was swarmed every time. This game by this point is 64-58. It's 60. Then it goes on to be another missed 3-point shot. Juju Watkins missed a 3 from the top of the key. I remember that one. Then she made a jump shot to make it 64-60. Then UCLA calls timeout. Betts gets a layup. Another missed 3 with 35 seconds. And then Ryan Marshall makes a layup. There's a foul. And then Kiki Rice makes 2 free throws. So, yeah, man. I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear the bullshit. It's bullshit. She's full of crap. She's full of crap. She doesn't remember this game. Her team had 21 offensive rebounds and kept shooting jumpers. They were just shooting jumpers the whole damn game. Don't sit here and tell me people were attacking the basket. They were not. There was one player who went to the basket, Juju Watkins. She has no idea what she's talking about. And to me, she was completely out of her league in the second half coaching this team. I don't have to play anything else. Let's see what else she has to say. Because she's flat out misremembering everything.
Steve Strimming, Excel Sports. I thought you struggled a little bit against Indiana. I thought you struggled a little bit against Michigan, and then coming into UCLA. Where do you refocus now headed into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think Indiana and Michigan are really good teams. We came into Indiana and, won without our starting center. Both teams pose, problems because they're good. Those are NCAA tournament teams, second round games for us, maybe Sweet 16 type games. So I thought it pushed us. And like everybody else, we'll continue to use this weekend to get better. We don't want to shy away from a fight in the competition, but obviously we want to be as sharp as possible going into the NCAA tournament.
All right, I got nothing. I got nothing left to show on her here. She's all over the place. UCLA played Ohio State in the semis. They played Ohio State. She does realize that, right? Ohio State is probably going to be a 4 seed. I'm guessing. Big Ten. Ohio State finished 3rd in the Big Ten. 25-6. UCLA beat them by 29. They're going to be a 4 seed. At worst, they'll be a 4 seed. They'll be hosting. You avoided Maryland, who gave you trouble earlier this year. You got Michigan instead. You played Indiana. Indiana's a 19-12 team. She's really, really milking this shit, huh? She's milking it. I'll tell you this. I don't know. I don't like the women's basketball. I think there's more tournaments this week, which is why it's not being done. But I wish the women's tournament would start this week and not wait a week. They get a week of vacation and a week to rest, recover, whereas the men don't get that. The men play their tournaments this week, and then they're on the court by Thursday. I wish they would just get these women back on the court on Thursday and not give them a week and a half. God, they're going to have almost 2 weeks of recovery. So obviously that's big for getting your legs and all that stuff. But I'll tell you right now, this sounds like a coach who doesn't know what to do. This sounds like a coach who knows that she shit the bed today and is looking for any excuse. Because right now, if UCLA plays the next game, if UCLA, first of all, these two teams won't see each other until the national championship if they were to see each other again. I would be shocked if they were put even in the same side for a Final Four meeting. I would not want them to play before the national championship if they were to play again. But let's say they're obviously at the earliest they'll play in the Final Four. If UCLA was to play their full game the way they play the second half, they will drop kick USC because I don't think this woman knows what to do. I think this woman is I think Lindsay Gottlieb is utterly clueless. She had no idea what to do. No clue. She wanted Juju Watkins to literally create everything for this team. They never got Juju and they never had Juju in any kind of actions towards the rim. It was all Juju create. You're not going to win that way, man. You're not going to win that way. And with no one else, and Juju Watkins is not a point guard. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, she's not a point guard. She's not creating stuff for a bunch of teammates. That's not her game. That's not her game. I think Lindsay Gottlieb just got exposed badly today in this game. She got exposed badly. And I don't think the UCLA coach has anything to brag home about. But Lindsay Gottlieb got exposed. Like, your team, you told them to drive. They shot jumpers the entire second half from the 4-minute mark of the third to the end of that game. It was jump shot city. And you're crying about free throws. See, that tells me she wasn't even engaged in the game and doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. But you let me know what your thoughts are on this game, because if you watched the game, what did you think? I know that I said that if they saw each other, I'd be concerned for UCLA because clearly there's a matchup issue of athletically. But I will tell you this, I've changed my mind. I'm back to where I was before. I picked UCLA to win the national championship. I'm on that one still. I got UCLA winning the national championship. They figured out USC. And unless Lindsay Gottlieb can come up with a way to put the ball in the hands of her best player where she's going downhill and not having to create everything for everyone on her team, they're not going to beat UCLA again. They will not beat UCLA. And Kiki Iriafen, if she plays like that again, forget about it. And I said when it was 18 points, Juju had 18 points at half, I said, let me tell you something. If she hits 30, they're going to win. If she goes for 30, they're going to win. That 29 was very deceiving because she had 22 with like 3 minutes, with a minute and a half to go in the game. She scored like 7 points in the last 90 seconds. So it wasn't like she had 30, 29. Like her 29 was like a legitimate 29. She got those when they're down 4, 6, 8 points. They're down 70-62. She scored 5 points in the last like 30 seconds. She was locked down, man. She was put in check. They handcuffed her ass in the second half. And if they play with that same type of intensity, and if they get rid of the 24 turnovers and cut it to 12 or 14, they win that game. And you can't imagine being out-rebounded 21-4 on the offensive glass. Like, think about all these things that happened that went against UCLA, and they still won the game. Bruh. If you say to not play a great game and won. If they play a better game and more clean, yeah, we could say the same for USC. If they make jump shots. But a lot of that stuff in the second half was because of what UCLA did defensively. Because those secondary players for USC were shitting on themselves. They were petrified. They were afraid to shoot the ball. They didn't want the ball. They wanted Juju Watkins to do it for them. And a lot of times this year, she probably has. Today wasn't one of those days. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think. This is Rudy's Rant. We talking facts over feelings. Come on now.